Okay, so I think I'm live. Um, Before I start with the session, I just want to check the audio once. Okay, so I think I'm live. Um, Before I start with the session, I just want to check the audio once. Okay, everything seems perfect. I just want to make a disclaimer and then I'll start off with the session, which is that I feel that एक सेकंड रुक जाओ. I've done quite a few live streams, but still I feel like whenever I go live on the stream, there is something or the other that keeps on happening. Anyways, I think it's all done. So I'll start off with the agenda. I'll look back at the chats at the end. I'll not have a simultaneously नहीं कर पाऊंगा. ठीक है. अब एक चीज़ बता देता हूँ शुरू में. I hope you guys will be able to appreciate that. I was not aware. Actually, I was aware, but I was not confident. I was a bit confident that because I watch a little bit of videos or I listen to a little bit of songs. So इसके previous video का copyright आ गया था, तो कॉपीराइट क्या आ गया, वो बेसिकली वीडियो ब्लॉक ही हो गया. तो मैं कुछ आई थिंक दबंग का गाना सुन रहा था बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. अब मैंने ऑडियो को अगर कट किया, ट्रिम किया, तो वो पूरा ऑडियो जो है सेशन का निकल गया. तो आई थॉट कि यार हटाओ उसको, क्या मतलब. ठीक है, थोड़ा प्रोफेशनली करेंगे इस बार. आई हैव केप्ट अ टाइमर ऑल्सो, तो यू गाइज कैन ऑल्सो ट्राई दिस आउट विथ मी. ज़्यादा सिखाने के लिए कुछ नहीं है, मैं अपने अप्रोचेस आपके साथ शेयर करूँगा. आई जस्ट try and be as much on the spot as I can. And as you have already guessed, this is a verbal abilities this thing. Okay, चलिए तो फिर स्टार्ट करते हैं. थोड़ा सा आज मुझे मन कर रहा है थोड़ा वेबकैम फीड रखने का. मैं थोड़ा भले इसको छोटा कर देता हूँ. ओके, चलिए. I'll give you some time. This is a summary types question. आंसर साथ के साथ दिखाता जाऊंगा, सो डोंट वरी. अपना एक्सप्लेनेशन भी दूंगा और आंसर्स भी दिखाता जाऊंगा. तो लेट्स जस्ट गेट द टाइमर टू 5 मिनट्स, बिकॉज एक एक क्वेश्चन को करना होगा. 5 मिनट लेके चलते हैं. 20 मिनट ओवरऑल जो मैं क्वांटिटेटिव एबिलिटीज के सेक्शन कर रहा हूँ उसके लिए मैंने 20 मिनट लगा कर रखा है. ठीक है, आराम से समझते हैं, देखते हैं. अच्छा, ये वाली क्वेश्चन हमने कर लिया था पिछले लाइव में, तो एक्चुअली आई डोंट थिंक वी हैव टू गो थ्रू दिस. फिर भी क्योंकि लाइव तो है ही नहीं अवेलेबल, तो एनालिसिस किस बात का होगा उसका, तो मैं फिर से एक बार इसको कर दूंगा. ठीक है, इसमें एक थोड़ा सा हल्का सा मिस्टेक भी हो गया था, तो उसे भी मैं रेक्टिफाई करने की कोशिश कर दूंगा. लेट्स स्टार्ट. First line, if you pay attention, we are talking primarily about the healthcare systems and the great array of organizations that are there in the healthcare system. Now, if you pay some attention, this line, okay, and I am expecting that you guys are also reading with me, so I will not read out and that will only waste our time. So keep reading. I'll just highlight the underlining words and that will make my life also easier in terms of explaining. and also highlighting the keywords or key terms that make the session also a little bit interactive. I hope you have read it. Okay. And यहाँ पे हाईलाइट करते एकदम साइलेंटली हाईलाइट करने का रीजन ये है, आई डोंट वांटेड टू कॉन्स्टेंटली ब्लैबर सो दैट योर रीडिंग प्रोसेस गेट्स हिंडर्ड. आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड. काफ़ी टाइम दे दिया है इसको, ठीक है ना, हमने ऑलमोस्ट इसको 2 मिनट से ज़्यादा टाइम दे दिया है. सो typically it is talking about health, a comparison of healthcare system, how it is today, how we know of it today, which is a great array of organizations like hospitals, public health agencies, health insurance, pharmaceutical company, and so on, and how it was, let's say, in the last century. So much so that they have said that till the 1870 there were a couple of hundred hospitals. Yeah, there were 100 of hospitals, but until the 80s and 90s they had closer connection to charity and medicine and played a small part in the medical practice. Similarly, public health and this were not medical so much as sanitary and statistical. Okay, public health has originated in concerns. Now they are giving you a very different idea, which is only at the end of the 19th century, as hospital and public health activities become more directly related to medical care, did an interconnected healthcare system begin to take form. So when did it started? At the end of the 19th century. So this was important for us to understand the ideas. So I'll start off by the first option. I'll read the first option. Until the end of the 19th century, public healthcare system was did not. So first of all, this is not about an interconnection of healthcare system. If you read the first line, it is saying that until the end of the 19th century, public healthcare system was not associated with medical care. Well, to be very honest, this is one of the aspects. No comparison, past, present, and the charity aspect is out of the picture. So this cannot be an ideal essence of this thing. Okay. You can also call it a summary. I can also say that this does not comprise the essence of the passage. Now let's go ahead and read the other one, which is, let's get rid of the timer because it'll only irritate me. Today, the healthcare system emerged as an interdependent system of medical health, sanitation, and disparate organization. Today's healthcare system has emerged as an interdependent system of this, which until the late 19th century had ends other than medical. This is exactly what is there in the passage, okay? Because there is a comparison of today also and what it was in the past, because it emerged as an interdependent from the disparate organizations which until late 19th century had ends other than medical. So present bhi hai, past bhi hai, reason bhi hai. Charity was the reason because of which it was not medicine was not even considered that much. So an ideal contender. So I would call it a probable contender or an ideal contender. I'll keep this one. What we know today as the healthcare system was scattered and disorganized system until the end of 19th century. Because it was not exclusive to the medical field. First of all, if you are confused between B and C, it's okay. Keep this also as a contender. Keep this as also a contender. I'll come back to this. A healthcare system didn't exist before the 19th century as the public was more concerned with social issues such as charity, sanitation, and statistics, etc. Sanitation. Healthcare system was there, and the public was more concerned is not something that was mentioned. Can eliminate this one. Now between B and C, for those of you who would find it difficult, it is difficult. Let me put it out. The only thing that makes the difference is that while option number B in a way gives away everything, past, present, the idea of charity in the picture, as well as saying the fact that like everything is there. Okay, but if I look at option number C, what I can see is what we know today as of the health was a scattered and disorganized system. So today, what we know today, so today is this thing that we know, that healthcare system was scattered and disorganized until the end of the 19th century because it was not exclusive to the medical field. True, because it was concerned with charity and this and that and whatnot. But what is the healthcare system of today? It is an interconnected or an interdependent system of array of organizations like hospital, public health agency, insurance and this and that. Nothing of that sort. So आज का जो analysis है वो तो missing है. तो इस with that I can say that this has to be the answer. और इसके आंसर होने के पीछे रीजन वही है कि this gives away all the main ideas of the passage. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let's go to the next question. Okay, just for the ones who would want to maybe take a look at the answer, go ahead, look at the answer. Okay, next question. Identify the odd sentence. Let's read. Okay, so I hope you have also been able to answer this one. I'll give you my explanation. The first option statement rather. The first statement says, but we haven't managed to decipher it yet. We don't know who they were, where they came from, what kind of social organizations or ruler they had, what language they spoke, or even what their names were. Now, typically this is not a jumble para, so you are not supposed to make sense of which statement will come after which one. You can also work with the ideas. Sometimes, you know, if your luck is good, the ideas will also help you navigate very easily. But if you look into this thing now, this is not a very difficult one. This is fairly easy. So the first statement very potently asks a question, that who they were, where they came from. I need to have some sort of a stem. I need to have some sort of a stem about that question. And that actually comes from this part, that the fault doesn't lie with the remarkable men, or let's say, you know, because I am typically, you know, pinpointing onto that question, that who they were, where they come from. Let's elaborate on the question. Although this question has always been asked, the correct answer to it has proved resistant to the wills and charms of the historians, archaeologists, linguists, philosophers for nearly a century. There is a question, which is this thing, and we are elaborating on the question. Once you have elaborated on that question, then you go on to explain that it is not the fault with the men and women who built that civilization, what was easily the largest civilization of their time. Okay. Also, one thing you have to understand, that 3 and 4 are also connected. So once you have explained that this fault does not lie with the remarkable men and women, then you say, how is that the fault was not related to the remarkable men and women? Because they had a script of their own. They left behind enough of their writings on tablet, seal, tool, pottery and ornaments. So in a way or the other, if you see, all of these are interconnected, all the ideas are interconnected. There are logical connectors, logical links also, you can say. The only one that does not make any sense is this one, which says the best globally accepted theory of Indo-European language spread is that Proto-Indo-European was spoken in Pontic steppes of the Central Asia by horse riding, chariot driving pastoralists. Okay, this is, in a way or the other, this is a standalone idea. I can say this is typically a standalone idea. So with that thing in my mind, I can actually eliminate this one. This is the explanation. If you want to perhaps read the explanation, I'll just give you some time. All right, let's go to the next question. Jumbled para jumbles, whatever. The NTCA is an abbreviation, is a statutory body of the ministry with an overarching supervisory role, performing functions as provided in the Wildlife Protection Act of 72. See, by the first read, you should have understood that one should follow 2, because tiger reserves are constituted by National Tiger Conservation Authority, NTCA, and NTCA is a statutory body of the ministry. So first of all, you will explain what NTCA is, or rather give you the idea about NTCA, and then you will talk about NTCA. The tiger reserves are constituted by NTCA in core areas having legal status of a national park or a sanctuary. Now I know for a fact that 3 and 4 or 4 and 3. You just need to find the link pair, and then you need to find the starter statement. If I can find the starter statement among these two, I'll be able to calculate this very easily. So let's see. Now 3 cannot be the case, so this is out because it started off with it is an ongoing centrally sponsored scheme. So what is it? You should have explained. So Project Tiger was launched in 1973 with 9 tiger reserve conserving our national animal, the tiger, and currently the project coverage has increased to 50, spread out in 18 tiger range state. It is an ongoing centrally sponsored scheme of the Ministry of Environment. So 4-3 for a fact. What after 4-3? Obviously it will be 2-1. So is 2-1 going to be here or it is going to be there? Let's see. The only way through which you can check at this point is just see if there is a logical link between 3 and 2. Okay, so forget about everything and just focus on 3 and 2. Okay, so just forget about everything and just focus on 3 and 2. And just see after 3 can 2 come. Let's read. See, it talks about the tiger reserves, and the tiger reserves are constituted by the NTCA in core areas having the legal status of a national park or sanctuary. And then the NTCA, we will explain what the NTCA is. See, I would also like to say that I also have this problem. I typically have this problem that I also sometimes feel like I can also punch in my statement as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can also think of it like this. In which case, I would have to see if 1 actually can be, considered as the starting statement. It could be, but then I would say that please find the middle this thing, because most of the times what I have seen, the middle pair 2-3, if there is a linkage between the middle pair 2-3, then you are in a bit of a mess and the problem will be let's say in your face. If not, it can get the other way around. So let's see if 2 and 3. Now see, the tiger reserves are constituted by NTCA in core areas having legal status of national park or sanctuary. It is an ongoing centrally sponsored scheme of the ministry. So this it is not anywhere present in statement 2. So 2-3 will not work. 4-3-2-1 will work. If you ask me ki how much time, I would say that know the method and then try to reduce the time. If it takes time, it takes time. Nothing can be done. Okay, I hope you have understood this thing. All right, so this is the question. This is the next question. Give it some time. Okay, let's get back. Okay, I hope you guys have also been able to, answer this question very easily. So if you want my, let's say, commentary, I'll give my commentary. But so it's very easy actually. If you just pay some attention, this I thought was the very easy part. Started off with this thing. To be sure, technology has disrupted labor markets before also, so it's not a new thing. But until now, even the most far-reaching of those disruptions have been relatively easy to adjust to and manage. That is because new technologies have heretofore tended to displace workers from old jobs that either no longer needed to be done or at least no longer needed to be done by humans. They went either now, who are they? These are the ones who got displaced, okay, in the past. They went to either entirely new jobs that were created by new technology or into old jobs for which new technology directly or indirectly caused increased demand. So if you pay attention, 2541 is a very good link pair. You can go with it. 3 is the black sheep. This is the misfit. Here is the explanation. If you would want to rather read the explanation, read it. Okay, so if you have, let's say, understood the explanation by the author, let's go to the next question. Okay, this is a para jumble, so let's just look into it. Okay. 2 basically introduces an idea of this thing, a problem, let's say a typical problem, that in a typical Boston bookshop, customers move their way through the corridors, and the problem is that it is a lot of paper, says one of the shop assistant, admitting that the store could get much smaller if the digital revolution gets to the bookshelves. And then I go to this one explaining what the catchword is: an e-book or an electronic book. Once you have explained what an e-book or an electronic book is, something you can read off the screen and this and that, whatnot, small computers that you read while you're on the move, and then some of the ebooks are computers even. So yeah, it's the easy one. It'll probably take 1-2 minutes. It'll probably take 1-2 minutes. Here is the explanation. If you would rather want to read this one. Probably take 1-2 minutes. I'm always concerned about the audio quality because videos anyways we can manage, but the audio quality is very important. First option, China is emerging as a serious competitor in the race of becoming the world superpower, beating the USA, and it might be a challenge for India. But what is India doing to counter that? China is suspicious. China has shown its might in the South China and Doklam. USA is engaging with India in order to counterbalance China's power. Totally distorts the idea. India must engage with other countries that considers China as a competitor in order to address the challenge posed by China's growing power. Perfect. D has to be the answer. Give a honest read and it'll not waste your time. So D is the answer. Read the explanation if you might want to. मुझे ना एक चीज़ बताना है, आफ्टर दैट आई विल डू द रेस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बड़ा मज़ा आता होगा कि जो लोग लाइव अटेम्प्ट देते हैं मॉक्स के, मैं नहीं दे पा रहा हूँ तो मुझे बड़ा बुरा लग रहा है क्योंकि कुछ रीजंस है. तो इसमें लाइव अटेम्प्ट भी स्टार्ट करने का प्लान है ट्राई कैट के साथ मैंने सोचा था कि बहुत जल्दी कर देंगे, बट कोई दिक्कत नहीं, करते हैं, आराम से करते हैं। ठीक है, अब इसको मैं ज़्यादा अप एंड डाउन भी नहीं कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि आंसर्स विजिबल हो जा रहे हैं। What if I put the videos there? I think this looks fine. ओके, तो एक बार इसको ट्राई करिए, थोड़ा रीड करिए। Okay, sorry, I had to go and change the shirt क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है कि वो शर्ट थोड़ा सा टाइट हो गया है। सो आप लोग ट्राई करो, मैं एक बार थोड़ा लेट मी जस्ट चेक यूट्यूब लाइव को। ओके। चलिए, तो थोड़ा सा आ जाते हैं क्वेश्चन पे। ठीक है, मैं बस यही देखने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि जो फीड है वो सही चल रही है कि नहीं। मैंने इसको जानबूझ करके नॉर्मल लेटेंसी करके रखा हुआ है ताकि आप लोगों को, आई वॉज जस्ट चेकिंग इट ऑन माई सेल फोन। ठीक है, मैंने अभी तक इसको एक बार भी साइमल्टेनियसली चेक नहीं किया था, तो सेल फोन के अंदर उस पर नहीं। सो आई वॉज जस्ट लुकिंग एट इट। तो अच्छी बात है। 45 मिनट्स हो गए हैं। चलिए, इसको जल्दी से सेशन को कंक्लूड करते हैं, और ये सारे क्वेश्चंस को फिर कल एनालिसिस भी करनी है। तो लेट्स लुक इनटू दिस वन। ठीक है ना, आराम से जो अभी तक जो जैसा मेथड फॉलो कर रहे थे उसी तरह मेथड फॉलो करेंगे। Okay, so three is the one. I think three is the black sheep because it's talking about introduction of yourself, or in I think the passage in its entirety is more to do with what body language is. I'm a little hasty, although I've taken, yeah. So three is the one. This was an easy one, easy pick. So this is exactly what I was saying. So even if you are not doing well in the initial few verbal ability questions, you will get enough and more, bouncers also. So there's nothing like that कि अरे नहीं होगा, नहीं कर पाएंगे। मस्त रहो, चिल रहो, होगा कैसे नहीं वो हम भी देख लेंगे। चलिए, एक्सप्लेनेशन देख लिया होगा ना, दूसरे पे चलते हैं। दिस इज अ पैरा जंबल। डिफिकल्ट वन। ओके, सो क्या किया है मैंने, देख के तो समझ गए होगे। लिंक पेयर्स बनाना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज यू सी मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स ना वी आर नॉट ब्लैबरिंग। तो मैंने भी ये चीज़ अभी डिस्कस किया अभी एक अपने उसमें स्टूडेंट्स के साथ भी हम थोड़ा बात कर रहे हैं कि सर बार बार ये एक्सप्लेनेटरी मोड में भी समझाना मुश्किल है। तो पहले क्या करना है, लिंक पेयर्स बनाना है, और उसके बाद देखना है विच लिंक पेयर। जैसे कि आप देख पा रहे होगे, आई स्टार्टेड ऑफ विथ 3 2 4 1 और 1 4। तो अगर आपके पास एकदम ही टाइम नहीं है और आपको मतलब लक पे ही छोड़ना है, तो फिर आप 3 2 एंड देन यू कैन से 4 1। But if you pay some attention, na, you will realize that 4 actually follows 3. So the perfect one would be 3 4 2 1, something like that. Okay, क्योंकि but then you have to have that time element. You have to have that time element. Otherwise आप लिंक को खोज करके और दोनों को सेट नहीं कर सकते। आपको बीच का कंसिस्टेंसी भी देखना पड़ेगा कि पहला जो स्टेटमेंट है दूसरे स्टेटमेंट से कैसे कंसिस्टेंट है, लॉजिकली कनेक्टेड है या कंसिस्टेंट है। अच्छा, इन्होंने 3 2 4 1 ही कहा है क्या? वाओ, ठीक है, लेट्स ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड देयर एक्सप्लेनेटरी दिस थिंग। आई वुड बी मच हैप्पियर इफ दे कैन गिव मी अ रीजन, क्योंकि मेरे पे रीजंस थे इसको 3 4 2 1 पे ले जाने का। क्योंकि अगर आप एकदम ही बेसिक लेवल पे देखो तो 3 2 4 1 वाज अ दिस थिंग, वो मेरा एक पॉसिबिलिटी था। बट इसको 3 4 2 1 बनाने के पीछे मेरा क्या रीजन था? मेरा रीजन ये था कि 3 इंट्रोड्यूसेस द टॉपिक। मैं अभी एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं पढ़ूंगा, मैं अपना अपना आइडिया दे रहा हूँ। Biological systems do not defy physical laws, of course, but neither do they seem to be predicted by them. We can say that they have a purpose. Now, my idea is that when I say they have a purpose, who are they? These are, the biological systems. They have a purpose, or what the philosophers have traditionally called teleology, that guides their behavior. In contrast, they are goal direct they're goal directed, survive and reproduce. Okay, so actually ये जो वर्ड डाला है ना, in contrast, this is not actually uh, because this is not after this teleology and all, which is get teleology। ये जो contrast है, this is coming from the physical law का abide ना करना। ठीक है, biological system do not defy physical laws, of course, but neither do they seem to be predicted by them. In contrast, they are goal oriented or directed, survive and reproduce. So yeah, 3 and 2, I was right in my mind the first time. And once you get from 3 to 2, then the obvious link pair will be 4, that 3 2 4 and then 1, because 4 will then explain on that contrasting goal oriented feature, which is survive and reproduce, and then what the philosophers call teleology, that guides their behavior. By the same token, physics now lets us predict the starting state of the universe a billionth second after the Big Bang, what it looks like today. ठीक है, ये तो मेरा क्या कहते हैं उसके कोर्स करेक्शन हुआ, बट अब एक्सप्लेनेशन पढ़ते हैं थोड़ा, एक सेकेंड। On the careful reading of the sentence, we note only 3 can begin the 1. The token in sentence 1, मेरा भी पहला सवाल वही था। In contrast, in sentence 2 and the pronoun they in sentence 4 make the sentences unsuitable for starter array bakwas. Statement 2, which explains the working of the biological system through contrast, should follow 3. Though biological system can't be predicted by using physical laws, they can be predicted following their goal. दस वी हैव अ मैंडेटरी पेयर 3-2, सेंटेंस 4 शुड फॉलो। अब ठीक है, मतलब अब यहाँ पे एक बार आपने 3-2 बोल दिया एंड देन यू नो दैट 4-1 विल ओनली फॉलो 4, सो ये मतलब मैंने ज़्यादा बुद्धि लगाने का कोशिश किया, तो वो भी होता है कभी कभी, दिमाग ज़्यादा लगा देते हो ना, ज़्यादा दिमाग लगाओगे है नहीं, खर्चा हो जाएगा, तो इसीलिए ज़्यादा दिमाग मत लगाओ, लिंक पेयर बनाओ, आगे निकल जाओ, ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। एक्सप्लेनेशन भी वैसा ही है, एक सेकेंड, एक्सप्लेनेशन भी वैसा ही है। दिस इज द लास्ट वन, दिस इज अ समरी टाइप्स क्वेश्चन। तो मैंने अभी तक के 9 क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट कर लिए, एक क्वेश्चन में मेरा बस थोड़ा सा पकअप हुआ, और वो भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आई एम नॉट रियली वरीड अबाउट दोज थिंग्स।